As an online language teacher, are you regularly posting on social media in order to attract more consistent clients, but experiencing frustration when, despite people actually liking your posts, this doesn't seem to turn into actual sign-ups? There are many reasons why clients may hesitate, but they generally fall into three main categories: lack of clarity, lack of trust, and lack of urgency. In this video, I'm going to talk about each of these categories and make some suggestions about what you can do with your content to help you start attracting more of your right fit clients consistently. My name's Rachel Roberts, and I help ELT, ESL and language teaching freelancers optimize your business model, your marketing and your mindset so that you can work less and earn more. One of the most common reasons that clients don't buy is because they don't fully understand what you're offering, how it works, or how it will benefit them. It's essential that they can see how well you really understand what they're struggling with or what they aspire to, and exactly how what you're offering will help them to achieve this. Too often I see teachers and trainers making huge assumptions that their potential clients will obviously see the benefits, when in fact these benefits are completely passing them by. And they just don't see the link between your services and those things that they desire. This doesn't mean that you should be going into endless detail about exactly how your offer works, how many classes are included, what happens in the calls, and so on. Too much detail, especially at an early stage when they're just starting to consider different options, can be very overwhelming and can even put clients off. We also want to avoid confusing them with too many different options. Having multiple different packages or different tiers can make it really hard for clients to decide which option is right for them. Too many choices can lead to decision paralysis, where they end up choosing nothing at all or going with somebody else. And clients may also struggle to understand exactly why your offer is priced the way that it is, particularly if you're charging more than perhaps the basic going rate. They need to understand what makes your offer different from the free resources that are available online or the cheaper alternatives that they can almost certainly find. There's always someone cheaper than you, believe me. You understand how your experience and skills and qualifications make a huge difference, but do they? They might think that your offer is too expensive without a clear understanding of the value that you provide and, crucially, the results that means that they're more likely to get. So, how can you address these issues in your content? Well, first of all, and I keep coming back to this, it's really important that you nail your niche and your messaging. I can't overstate the importance of this. How often do I speak to potential clients who haven't yet fully done this? Sometimes after years in business. Without having this clarity, it's like you're trying to communicate through a mouthful of cotton wool. And once you get it right, everything else will start to fall into place. Secondly, reduce decision fatigue for your clients. Again, this comes back to niche, because the more targeted your niche is, the easier it is for you to offer much more streamlined. The easier it is for you to provide much more streamlined offers. But if you offer fewer, more targeted options and you can guide your clients towards the best choice for their needs, you're likely to be much more successful at converting people into clients. Now, you can do this guidance through conversations in the DMs, through sales calls, but you can also do it through your content. I'll talk more about this in the third video in this mini series. And finally, you really need to be communicating your value clearly. Don't just assume that potential clients understand why it's worth investing in you. You need to be using testimonials, case studies, and explaining the value of your service and the impact that it can have. This isn't showing off. This is giving those potential clients the information that they need in order to make a good decision. You don't need to justify your pricing in a defensive way, but it is really important that they understand exactly why you're charging more, both in terms of what they get, things such as personalized feedback, flexibility, expertise, and even more importantly, what that means in terms of the results that they get. Trust is a crucial factor in any online purchase, and perhaps particularly in education. Potential clients may not be sure about your credibility, the effectiveness of your methods, or even their own ability to get the results they want. And without this trust, they're very unlikely to commit to your program, no matter how attractive it sounds. It might be that they don't yet trust you to deliver the results. They might be skeptical. They might have had bad experiences with other online course providers, or they might simply not know enough yet to be able to trust you. They might also not trust themselves. A lack of self-belief can also be a factor holding people back from signing up with you. They may doubt their own abilities. They may think that they're not good enough to be your students. They may think they're too old to learn a language. They may believe they're too busy, or that they will need more time than they really have, that they are not talented enough or not enough of a natural language learner. And this is particularly true if they've tried and failed before. So how can we address these concerns in your content? We need to really focus on building that trust and credibility in us as the course provider. And again, this is where testimonials and reviews and success stories really help. It's not about tooting your own horn. It's about helping people to envisage how this could also work for them. And that will then help to develop their own self-belief. But you can also provide content that is more motivational. You can tell them stories about your clients that will help them to see that these things are possible. You can highlight wins that your clients have achieved so that they can see that it can work for them. Finally, as well as demonstrating the results that it's possible to get, you can also offer what's known as risk reversal. So I'm not actually a fan of free trial lessons, which is one form of risk reversal, because I think that this can sometimes lower your perceived value and take up a lot of your, let's face it, precious time. However, there are plenty of other ways to give people a taste of what it's like to work with you through your content. Creating videos, for example, can give people a real sense of what it would be like to be taught or coached by you. And you could also consider offering guarantees to lower that risk. For example, if they sign up for 10 lessons and find that after the first 3 that it's really not working for them, you could give them a get out clause, which allowed them to cancel at that point and not owe anything for further lessons. This could give people the reassurance that the risk that they're taking is low and the possible things that they can achieve through working with you is very high. Even when potential clients understand your offer and trust you, they may still delay making a decision because very often there isn't a compelling reason to act now. If someone has a job interview coming up and you offer a package which prepares them for that job interview, that's a compelling reason to act now. But if it's simply a question of wanting to improve their English, they might put it off indefinitely, thinking that they'll come back to it later, next month, next year, or whenever it feels more convenient. This can be because they feel that they don't have time right now. They're too busy to start the course, but they're probably always going to be busy. So you have to show them how the benefits will outweigh any potential inconvenience in fitting this into their lives. And you also have to create an offer which is sufficiently flexible to stand and which shows that you understand the pressure that they're under. Sometimes when potential clients talk or think about not having enough time, this is actually a kind of an excuse, because in fact what the problem is that they don't want to step out of their comfort zone. Taking on something new, like learning a language, requires a certain level of commitment. And sometimes people can feel a little embarrassment about not being able to communicate fluently in the way that they can in their first language. And it can be quite intimidating for them. So you may find that clients hesitate because they think it's just going to be too hard. So how can we address these concerns in our content? Well, first of all, you can address the time concerns head on. You can talk about how you've designed your program specifically to fit around their needs and show how it can fit into a busy lifestyle. For example, you might offer bite-sized lessons, you might offer asynchronous options alongside the face-to-face online teaching. You can reduce that fear of commitment by positioning your course as a low-risk, high-reward opportunity. And you can reassure clients that lots of people worry about making mistakes and that mistakes are part of learning, and show them how supportive you are and how safe they would feel with you if they were working with you. And finally, you can create a sense of urgency to encourage people to take that leap. So for example, you might use time-limited offers or bonuses or discounts, although I don't necessarily think that discounts are always the best way to go, and highlight the benefits of starting now rather than waiting, focusing on how much difference they could make in the next 3, 6 or 9 months. So if your potential clients aren't buying from you, it probably comes down to one or more of these 3 things. Clearly communicating your offer and exactly how it's going to help them, building trust and confidence, and creating a certain sense of urgency. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to create 2 more videos in this series and dig in a bit deeper into how you can use your content to help attract those right fit clients consistently.